Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the book sub-off this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nutley, and I am the Comic Hero. Now, before I go on, I know that the world is going through a very rough time right now with the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, countless people have been tested positive for it. Countless people have died from it, and to all the people that have been tested positive for it. My thoughts and prayers are with you. I know y'all are going to recover from this. Just take care of yourselves, and it's going to be okay. And my heart goes out to all the families of those that have died from it. And when someone dies, I always say this: there just are no words. But just know this, and I'm going to go ahead and say this. I know that this is a web series devoted to comics, but I'm a man of faith, and I'm just going to say to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And I know all those people that have died are with the Lord, and to all those that have not been tested positive for it, then just wash your hands. If you don't have, unless it can't be helped, don't go out in crowds, and if you have to, try to stay at least 3 feet away from people. And also, keep yourself clean, keep your house clean, and just check on others. Check on family. I check on my family every day just to see if everyone's okay, and so far they are. Now I know this is a rough time for the world, but I'm gonna try to bring some positivity in everyone's life as best I can. And because this that we're going through, it's temporary. It's not going to last. It's not going to kill everyone. And we're going to get through this, folks. I just know it. Because anything that is bad, anything that is negative, never lasts. I am not only a believer of it, I also know it from experience. Nothing bad ever lasts. All right, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. All right, on last week's episode, I asked, in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, what is the name of Star-Lord's ship? Now, I gave 2 hints on social media. The first hint is that he named it after an 80s child actress who he had a crush on. And the second hint, this actress starred in TV shows like Who's the Boss, Melrose Place, and Charmed, and movies like Commando and Double Dragon. Well, the correct answer is the Milano. And of course, I'm talking about Alyssa Milano. 14 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in the drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Derek Wesley from New Orleans, Louisiana. So congratulations, Derek. Win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. All right, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Green Lantern question. True or false? The Green Lantern's power rings also serve as universal translators. Everyone who answers correctly been in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Now, the Comic Hero show, the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight is normally reserved for viewers. I usually let them request fights, but I was supposed to do a St. Patrick's Day episode. That didn't happen, but I'm still going to feature this fight, and this one features a lot of green from the Marvel Universe. Representing Marvel, we have She-Hulk. And also representing Marvel, we have Gamora. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's She-Hulk versus Gamora. She-Hulk possesses superhuman strength, speed, durability, and endurance, and a regenerative healing factor. Gamora is a skilled assassin and hand-to-hand combatant who possesses superhuman strength, speed, agility, and durability. Who would win? You'd think Gamora would have the upper hand with being a skilled assassin and a hand-to-hand combatant. That's where you're wrong. Gamora will try to end this fight quickly, but She-Hulk blocks and/or ruins every kill attempt. Gamora then grabs her staff and tries to choke out She-Hulk with it. Gamora then asks, "I don't understand how my father almost killed you." Big mistake. She-Hulk hasn't forgotten the near-fatal beatdown that she received from Gamora's dear old dad, Thanos. Not only did it change her physically, but mentally as well. She-Hulk throws Gamora off of her and snaps Gamora's staff in half. She then ends the fight by simply delivering a massive beatdown on Gamora, going untouched in the process. She-Hulk wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Hulk! Smash!
Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that fight, and I'll have another fight for next week. Now it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, now I recently got caught up with Ghost Spider, and let me tell you, Sean McGuire has done such a great job since taking over this book. And Gwen Stacy, or the Gwen Stacy of Earth 65, which is where she's originally from. Now, for those of y'all who don't know who Ghost Spider is, we all she used to go by Spider-Woman, but we all affectionately know her as Spider-Gwen. Well, she goes back and forth from Earth 65 to Earth 616, which is the mainstream Marvel Universe. And the reason that she does that is so she can attend college. She attends classes over at Empire State University in the mainstream Marvel Universe, while fighting crime in the in her own Earth, and her in New York in the Earth 65 Marvel Universe rather. And early on, she ends up encountering, or better yet, coming in contact with the doctor, with recently back from the dead Dr. Miles Warren, aka the Jackal. Excuse me, and aka the Jackal, and he has this affection for her, which is a very sick one. There just are no words to describe that, but Gwen ends up taking him down, and then if that wasn't enough, we find out about the Sue and Johnny Storm of the Earth 65 Marvel Universe, and we find out that they were two socialites whose their parents were kind of screwed up. Their mother is also a socialite, and their dad is a serial killer. Well, we find out while they're on a flight to Latveria. Once they get there, they disappear, and they're gone for 4 years until somehow being found somewhere in New York. And there were two that Gwen like idolized him, at arm's length. And of course, Gwen is also a drummer for a band called the Mary Janes, who their lead singer, of course, is the Mary Jane Watson of Earth 65. But then we find out somehow, some way, meanwhile, back in the 616 Marvel Universe, that the Maker, aka the Reed Richards of the Ultimate Marvel Universe, which is now extinct, is trying to find a way to resurrect the Ultimate Marvel Universe, and he's going to, he finds out, and he's come to the conclusion that Sue and Johnny of the Earth 65 Marvel Universe are going to be part of that. Oh boy, it seems like the Maker is everywhere. He's in this book. He was in Future Foundation, and he was in Venom. And it seems like he's going to all lengths to try to destroy the 616 Marvel Universe and resurrect the Ultimate Marvel Universe. But if anything else happens, I'll let you know. But Spider-Gwen is a great book. It's a great book. It's great for all ages. I definitely recommend it. All right, now I recently got caught up with The Flash. Now The Flash just recently returned to its original numbering with issue number 750, and it features a new Flash villain called Paradox. Now Paradox was this guy who was just a normal guy, but somehow he ended up getting a hold of the Still Force, which was which the Turtle had possession of when the in a story arc called Year One, when the Flash started, which talks about the Flash's origin. And once he gets a hold of it, he somehow vanishes, and his wife and kids presume him dead. But then he comes back. He's very disfigured, and he has like these powers that can. He pretty much has control of both the Speed Force and the Still Force. And then he eventually comes to Central City, and blames the Flash for his disfigurement and his family not recognizing him and believing that he's dead. And what does he do? Instead of attacking the Flash himself, he ends up sicking the Flash's former best friend and former Central City police officer August Hart, aka Godspeed, on him. Now Godspeed was a character that was created by Flash writer Josh Williamson and Carmine D. I cannot pronounce that name. Carmine D.G. Oh man, I can't remember. I can't pronounce that guy's name, but he was the first artist on the current run of the current volume of the Flash, and they created him. And then also he's made his transition to the TV series on the CW. Really loving this. It's the name of this story arc is called The Flash Age. Really loving it. And I would recommend this book to anyone. If you're a fan of The Flash, if you love the TV series, then you'll love this book also. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, first up is The Amazing Spider-Man number 41. Avengers number 32. Batman the Outsiders number 11. Catwoman number 21. The Flash number 751. The Immortal Hulk number 32. New Mutants number 9. Superman number 21. Thor number 4. Venom number 24. Wonder Woman number 753. X-Men number 8. X-Men Fantastic Four number 1. And finally, Young Justice number 14. All right, that's 14, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 9,924. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. True or false? The Green Lantern's power rings also serve as universal translators. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Derek Wesley from New Orleans, Louisiana, who won a free tee on this week's episode. All right, as y'all see, the count is 9,924. I'm only 76 away from 10,000 comics. I mean, I don't know when I'm going to get to that pinnacle. It may be next month. It may be the month after that, but it's coming. And I've already designed a shirt. I've already started designing a shirt. And as promised, I will not reveal what the shirt looks like until I get to the episode where I get to 10,000 comics. But what I will do is once I'm done designing and making the shirt, I'm going to put it in a garment bag. And your job is to like and I'm going to take a picture of it. I'm going to post it on social media and also here on YouTube. And your job is to like it no matter what. Now it's different on YouTube. Now if you're going to like it, if you're going to see it directly from YouTube, just let me just post a very positive comment, because YouTube won't let me see who likes and dislikes anything. So yeah, but if you see it on social media, all you have to do is just like or love it. Now you're probably wondering, that's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that I'm wanting y'all to post that I want y'all to like a shirt that y'all can't see. Well, come on. When have I ever made a t-shirt that was ugly? Never. And I'm not just saying this to be, and I'm saying this not to be arrogant or anything, but I just never have. It's just not in me to. Now I have made some, but I've never, I've redesigned them because, I just don't believe in wearing ugly shirts. But again, with the COVID-19 pandemic that's going on throughout the world, it doesn't matter what part of the world you're in, whether it's here in America or overseas. If you've been tested positive for it, you will recover. Just go ahead, go to the just go to the hospital. The doctors and nurses will make sure that you recover from it. Don't try to be all woe is me, because if you are, then then you're not going to be here for very long. So go ahead and get yourself checked out. And for those of y'all that have families who have died from coronavirus, my thoughts and prayers are with y'all. It's a sad situation when something like this takes the life of someone. And then for those of y'all who that don't have it, just take care of yourselves, keep yourselves clean, keep your homes clean, watch out for you and yours. Just check on your loved ones, see if they're okay. Wash your hands and stay away from crowds unless it can't be helped. If it can't be helped, keep your distance. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. It's not gonna be for long until we won't. And this won't last, and it's gonna be gone before you know it, and then we'll go back to being good lives. But I believe this is also we should also see this as a lesson to live more cleaner lives, and not just washing your hands, not just taking a bath or anything like that, but also living better lives. I believe that to be true, and I'm going to do the same. All right, I'm Victor Noli. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 303. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.